What's up, homies and homiettes? It's your boy Hoom Boom back with another segment of the Hold Up Show. And hold up, time to salute the pod god. Today we are going to be reviewing a clip from Joe Buttons and the JBP crew on their 801st anniversary celebrating 10 years in the game. Groundbreaking, innovative, revolutionary, fearless. So we're gonna give Joe and the crew their flowers. We're gonna do a little analysis of where the pod is currently in its current state with the new additions, and go from there. So yeah, hold up. So I'm only going to be playing the audio because, I'm not trying to get my joint flagged and all that. But in this last segment, it was, discussed about happy wife, happy life. And it's just a little portion that I want to go through because I feel as though this what makes the JBP and Joe Budden as the A-Mike lead host a genius and at what he does and what he brings to a podcast. So let's get into it.
Got some gender war shit here real quick.
Oh yeah. Count me out.
I was looking at you're gonna jump in this one.
You never,
this one you'll jump in.
You're never counting on
I was looking at a post from a gentleman named Jeff Fargo. It was a black man and a white man on a podcast on Instagram. They was talking. And the black man took exception to the term happy wife, happy life.
Now you already see this is about to get interesting. But let's continue on. Let's see where this goes.
I do too.
You follow me, right?
Yeah.
Once he spoke about it, I totally agreed with what he was saying. He was saying, why does that phrase exist? Actually, I'm just playing. I'm gonna play it. Because I'm gonna fuck it up.
Kids don't respect a man who sacrifices his own purpose.
They cooked.
Neither do women. Have you made this mistake where you kind of lost sight of your purpose because you thought that was the best way to be a father or be a man?
Oh, yeah.
I fell into that trap too, where I stopped working as much. I made my priority my wife and my kid, and I lost sight of the goal. And one day I looked up, and their lives were worse because I couldn't provide. They were getting more of my time. They were getting more of my quote-unquote love, but their lives weren't any better.
Interesting topic and point of view on it. He always seems to find these clever little soliloquies or, controversial or conversational starting interactions that, So I thought this one was a cool one, and, as you can see from what's being said, it's interesting. So let them cook.
They need to see you hustle. Your wife, your kids need to see you win. Your children don't want a miserable dad. They want to see you crush it in life. That's what they want to see.
Have you ever heard the phrase happy wife, happy life?
All the time.
Does it piss you off like it pisses me off?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Because there's no situation with happy wife, miserable dad. If dad's miserable, wife miserable, kids miserable. There's no such thing as happy family, miserable dad. Dad must suffer, but he must enjoy the suffering.
So, yeah. So, just really quick, my thoughts on the whole term happy wife, happy life, right? I do not believe that statement, right? It's not accurate, right? I don't think any man should forego their happiness to make their significant other or wife happy, right? The reason I say this is because if you are not happy, how can you make someone else happy, right? You cannot forego your happiness and think you're going to make someone else happy. It just does not work that way, right? Furthermore, like it goes to a thing of like, yeah, we're pushed to provide and protect, and if if we don't come to the table with money and some sort of success or some sort of ability, as a man to take care of ourselves and handle situations and problem solve, as well as hold down and protect a woman and children, right? And they say you're supposed to forego your happiness in order to provide and protect, right? Because it becomes bigger than you. It's not about you, right? And that is true to some degree, right? But I look at it like, before you could even get married, you have to be able to be in a position to provide and protect not only yourself, but to take on someone else and be able to be happy yourself. Because if you are happy and you are in a position to be successful or provide, it is no reason why your wife would not be happy. It would be no reason why you wouldn't look or be able to make your wife happy. Because if you are a successful man financially and morally within your character, it is it wouldn't be anything that you could not provide your wife to make her happy. So you would be happy to make her happy in that regards. Because if she ain't happy, if you successful and she's still not happy, she'll never be happy, and you need to move on, right? But then in the case of, if I am not successful, right? I am moderately just getting by, taking care of myself. We all know life be lifing, but I should not be looking to take on a marriage or procreate if I'm barely taking care of just me, right? Like, I can protect, but I ain't fully providing. And therefore, you become, you know, um, unhappy and have to uh, learn to love being unhappy, because now you have to do all this extra to provide just the basics or just whatever to get over. You know what I mean? So therefore, you are suppressing your happiness just to provide. But that doesn't mean that your wife is happy, because how could she be happy if you're going so hard just to provide? Obviously you're not around, you don't have time, you're not able to do the surprise gifts and trips and all that, because you're making ends meet, right? So I just look at it like, if you're not in a position to take on a wife to even attempt to make her happy, you should not be getting married, right? You should not be putting yourself in that situation, right? Because when they say you're supposed to love the suffering and forego your own happiness to provide and protect, I feel as though that plays into the stereotype of angry black men, right? Because what does that mean? Like, are we angry black men because we foregone our happiness to provide and protect? No, that's not my definition of an angry black man, or where that stigma came from. I think this or that statement or term came from I think the term came from, uh father or person of the community that try to do things by the book or whatever, so you say, and they come to find out that they have to run twice as long and twice as fast to get equal to or less than their other racial counterparts, right? So, in turn, while we doing all this extra running, extra running and longer running, you know what I mean, to get equal to or less than, we do become in a state of anger because now that extra time that we have to run harder and longer could be spent cultivating more family time, cultivating more parenting time, and all of that, right? Building those stronger bonds to make a happier wife, a happier life, a happier family, and all that, right? So I don't believe you as a man you should forego your happiness to make your wife or make life happier, right? You should come into the situation happy, healed, and prepared to provide that happiness, protection, and other needs that a family that could arise with having a family or having a wife, right? So just interesting topic, but let's see what they got to say.
God damn is what I said when I heard that.
Yeah.
I never
Work best as a one.
Well, my bad. Commercial. Give me a second.
put that in a vacuum that way.
Remind me to tell you something off camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why?
But why he got to be miserable if
That's,
she's happy?
that was exactly what I was going to ask.
I think that's not what he said.
That's not
I
what
think
he
the
said.
idea is
But that's the assumption
Not what he said.
that people would be led to think, because me and him just had the same question.
You know why? Because when you say happy wife, happy life, it seems as if the only priority is the people outside of you.
Exactly.
Like if you said, it should be happy spouse, happy house, right? Like,
Yes.
like both
That's
of
what I
us.
said.
Agreed.
That's what I
both
said.
of us.
Absolutely agreed.
But men are
But it's
often,
not that.
It's not that. And
Men
it's
are
not,
discarded.
Men are discarded. Where it's often like, okay, you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure the house, to make sure the kids
Yeah.
are fed, to make sure everybody's happy.
And not for nothing, it's a role that we accept.
We accept that role.
We almost
Willingly,
say
yeah.
fuck ourselves.
To hold up this house.
Yeah.
To make
But
sure
you know,
she's
some
happy,
people-
to make
It's
sure
part
the
of
kids are
patriarchy,
happy.
too.
Some people like that. Some
Parts.
people are proud of that. That makes them happy. Yeah, but no, I don't know if it necessarily makes them happy. We forego our happiness.
Yes.
Our happiness is an after.
Now, like he's saying that some people
That nigga-
some people
Kendrick
are
Clean
happy
Sweet.
are happy within that, right? And I think sometimes they just come to a point where they that's all they have. So they learn to love the suffering, so to speak, right? And that does not mean that's healthy, right? You know, that doesn't mean that that's whatever. But let's go.
Said, it should be happy spouse, happy house, right? Like,
Yes.
like both
That's
of
what I
us.
said.
Agreed.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Both
said.
of us.
Absolutely agreed.
But men are
But it's
often,
not that.
It's not that. And
Men
it's
are
not,
discarded.
Men are discarded. Where it's often like, okay, you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure the house, to make sure the kids
Yeah.
are fed, to make sure everybody's happy.
And not for nothing, it's a role that we accept.
We accept that role.
We almost
Willingly,
say
yeah.
fuck ourselves.
To hold up this house.
Yeah.
To make
But
sure
you know,
she's
some
happy,
people-
to make
It's
sure
part
the
of
kids are
patriarchy,
happy.
too.
Some people like that. Some people are proud of that. That makes them happy. Yeah, but no, I don't know if it necessarily makes them happy. We forego our happiness.
Yes.
Our happiness is an afterthought. to us.
Secondary.
Dog, you
And-
gotta listen to. Cut it out.
Yeah.
That nigga. He be saying a bunch of fly shit. He a dick sometimes, but I'm telling you, he basically says that, yo, as a man, when you start ascending in age, you kind of put your happiness to. It's not like what I'm a bitch for. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody going to listen,
Nobody
nigga. You got to
listening.
make it happen regardless. And you
Now, right there, who says yes? No one's coming to save you. It's you got to make it happen, but no one says that you have to be unhappy while doing it. Like, I don't understand the concept that you just have to accept being unhappy while overcoming or accomplishing whatever needs to be done to provide and protect or even advance in life. You don't have to be unhappy until you achieve these things, because we see rich people all the time that have all the money in the world and they're not happy, you know. So
kind of live by that. Yo, we got to do the work. We got to do the work. We got to do the work. When we first came, you like, yo, we're going to put our heads down. We're going to do the work. And I think benefits going to be at the end of it. And that's what happens. And that, as a man, that's how you kind of carry through life. But you're happy.
but you're not unhappy because you had to put your head down and grind, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be unhappy. You don't have to accept some sort of unhappiness because you had to grind, you know what I mean? And the grind that you basing your example off of is a job that he loves, you know. He's been doing it for 10 years, you know, like, you know, he was doing it when it wasn't a benefit at the end or foreseen benefit at the end. So I'm pretty sure he was still happy. He seemed happy, you know. He was handling his business though.
This ain't your priority.
Society makes that normal.
Yes.
Right?
That's why patriarchy is unhealthy for men too.
If your wife is happy and your children is happy, you know what I mean? That's all.
You're succeeding as a man, no matter if your body is killing you or any of that.
And a lot of times
you can't even complain about it.
A lot of times because you'll be looked at a certain way.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of times you can go through internal turmoil, but you have to put on a happy face when you walk into the house. Right. That applies to men. When you know when they say leave that shit outside.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you're bringing it inside. You just have to put a mask on.
Yep.
So it won't affect them.
It said something. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
No, it said something last episode I was listening. He said if I only had $20 in my account, I would never.
They would never know.
My lady would never know.
Facts.
And I've been there before, where I'm sitting here trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm borrowing money. My wife may have the money.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to borrow it to make this thing happen because my idea of manhood is partly about being able to take care of everybody and to be in control.
And everything.
Yeah, and I'm
See, now that's weird, kind of coming from a married individual, because when you get married, you become one, you become partners in life. Why do you feel as though that you need, if you just got $20 and your wife could possibly have 100, you're going to go in the street and rob Peter to pay Paul instead of go to your partner in life and figure it out? So that concept's a little weird, and you know, to understand coming from a married person. Like, if you're in a girlfriend boyfriend type of situation, I can see you not like your girlfriend's money is not your money, because you know you're not solely and superly bonded together in that way. But once you went down that aisle and you say my life is your life and your life is my life and all that good stuff, you are one. So why are you like, oh my gosh, I got $20, I can't tell her I gotta pay for everything, even though she's my partner in life is sitting on a wad? So I don't know. I don't know.
I'm like literally not sleeping at night trying to figure out how to put these things together.
Bro.
And
That's a fact.
And because I don't
Stress will fuck you up.
Exactly.
So you can die from stress.
and we do every day.
I mean, you borrow, you spend your last money to make sure your kids have and all that shit. Make sure your wife have and
Shit is different.
And you just got to eat that.
A lot of male voices. Let's give Mel a chance to process and reply to this or speak to this.
It just sounds like from
And we're not gender warring.
No, it just sounds like from what you guys are, saying collectively, that you fall victim to you fall victim to like a kind of like the idea of what a man is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like provision and leave your, non-emotional, leave your stuff at the door, like all of that stuff. Your humanity is inconsequential. And that doesn't, I don't really, I just don't see it that way. Maybe it's because I'm not married. Maybe it's because of that.
That's what happy wife, happy life is saying.
But that's why I think that me and Ice had the same question at the same time, that I don't think that saying foregoes your happiness.
I never took it as that.
I didn't
Personally.
either.
I never
Right.
took it as that.
And also,
Because it shouldn't forego your own happiness. How could you make someone else happy if you are not happy within yourself? It's not to say that individuals in life don't get caught up in situations that they bear the grunt of whatever went on and they just got to soldier through, but you do not have to remain in this unhappy state because you have to handle your responsibilities. That I don't think that means that.
Everything that y'all are saying.
and also to Ice's point, like a couple of seconds ago, some people actually like that. Sometimes the source of their happiness is to see their wife and their family thriving. And so I don't think that it's a blanket statement that can be applied to all men,
It's a bad thing when you think that.
And so hold on. The other thing,
get what I'm saying?
and so hold on. The other thing is that this is the first time in history where men and women are basically kind of on equal footing in terms of making the same money and whatever else. So what I hear from a lot of women is it's no longer provision that they're looking for. What they're looking for is partnership. What they're looking for is a little bit more self-development, and that is what they're not finding.
But that's part of the same problem.
Of patriarchy, exactly.
Because we're not trained to do that. We're trained to pay these bills and make sure that the lights are on and all that other stuff.
We get judged on that.
No, and so,
Yes.
but wait, hold on one second. To further that point, I think that all the motivational speakers that speak to y'all have done y'all a disservice by saying the only way to develop yourself is get rich, get fit. That's it. What about all the other ways that you can develop yourselves? You guys have.
Well, this, as a man, they said that is your foundation of success. Get fit, get paid, stack your money, go work on your health, become an attractive physical specimen while also stacking your paper to be able to take on the financial responsibility of having a woman and or possibly having a family.
Have been left you guys, there's been a grave disservice done to you because of that way of thinking. That there's no value in that other level of self-development, that it's just get rich for provision and for yourself and get fit and that's it.
What if the people are...
So yeah, I mean, the way society is built, it does not allow a man, especially if he made some earlier on mistakes or started a family quite early in life, before he fully matured into his manhood, society does not allow him the opportunity to maybe develop other things outside of get fit, get the money to handle the responsibilities. So yes, eventually you do self-develop, you do become self-aware, you do self-evaluate, because as you get older, as you gain more knowledge, as you get more mature, you are looking to elevate. So part of elevation is knowing oneself and developing the character, a better character, better morals, better overall discipline within yourself. So yeah, it it has to happen in all men, but we are, the way society is built, we are always not afforded that time to develop those other things. So that's why you would see certain relationships where, a woman and her children are well taken care of, but it's an abusive situation because man never got to heal from whatever other trauma he was dealing with, or he's the great provider, but he shows no affection, doesn't hug, doesn't I love you all the time, or he doesn't do the family trips and participate in, the bonding portion. He's just I'll pay for that, but I won't be there. Like, yeah, I'll handle it, but I'm not fully connected to the situation. I am looked at as, piggy bank dad, like he's gonna handle it. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with what she said.
What if the people
I think that's true. I think that's true.
What if the people that's receiving the perks, don't think about your happiness at all?
Oh, well, then that's a fucked up mate.
Let me ask you a question.
That's just that's
How many years do you
hold on,
Exactly.
hold on.
My bad.
Because that's not intentional, right? Because everybody has issues, man.
It is
But
intentional.
what if they also think that you're the man, suck it up, figure it out, because the road that
That is the
you
wrong
not
partner.
took, I guess, because the road that is, I guess, assigned to you, right? So
Like if you come with your own, if you're stepping into a situation with a woman and you are coming in with past situations or past debt or past whatever, or your car ain't the best car and she got a new car, you got to handle, those are issues that you still have to handle on your own. Those are not part of whatever, you know what I mean? Because whether you are with this person or not, you know what I mean, it's still your car. You still have to handle whatever, it's still your debt. You would still have to pay it. So it's, certain things that your partner or significant other can come to you and say, hey, suck it up. You put yourself in this situation. Like, say you're a gambler, you're just out here gambling up the money. If you keep putting yourself in situations where you're gambling up the money, you got to go make it back. You got to go make that right. You can't, if you let it affect you, but not let it affect us, that is something you have to suck up, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be like. Like on that end, yeah, some certain things and certain baggage that people come with that is still your baggage. You cannot put that on your partner.
So she's not thinking that, because I'm going to be careful. She's not thinking that, I wonder if she's going to check on you, but she's not going to go out her way. Some people are not going to go out their way to find out what are you going through at work or to find out the finances, because men, we shut down.
Right.
We shut down when you try to ask certain questions. We're not communicative a lot of the times. We don't want to get into that. Forget about that. We don't want to, because a lot of times...
Because we were trained, raised, and programmed to be that way. No emotion, no fear, no doubt, no vulnerabilities, right? Just whatever. Be stoic. Just be this person in the corner, and when you're ready to bark for whatever you want, everyone's going to listen and give it to you, and so they can continue going back to getting whatever you were providing.
We taught not to.
And we're taught
ain't nothing
not
worse
to.
than a complaining man.
Yeah,
ain't nothing worse than a
exactly.
crying man.
Thank
I
you.
think that get rich, get fit shit is some modern shit.
And that's some new age shit.
Yeah, that's
And
new.
Most of the motivational speakers I follow, they don't live by that motto. Like, I think that the motivational speakers I follow, they find it insulting that we only relegate it to protect and provide. What I'm hearing, and I promise you I'm not trying to beef, like me and Mel had a big argument that went viral where she said, should the CEO of Xerox date the bus driver? You can't have both things. You can't say that I just want you to work on your personal development, but you also got to make as much money as me, because now the man's going to bust his ass to any detriment to make as much money as that particular woman.
That wasn't my argument. I just, the expectation put on her because of your argument is what I was basically saying. I was just like, why should she? If that's not what she wants. If she's going to hold out for somebody, if she doesn't give a shit and she will date anybody, bus driver, post office worker, or a CEO of a Fortune 500. That's her choice. But it's based. The whole argument was around there's slim pickings, and you should just take what you should get. And if it's a bus driver, then just be happy, no matter what your station is in life. That was what that.
Yeah, that's going into a whole nother realm and all. But yeah, so I just wanted to show that it's such a great dynamic, and it's one of the things that makes the JBP and the Pod God great is that he could spark these conversations. He can get this dialogue going, and everyone on the crew has a dynamic about them that they bring to the table. Sometimes not always fully utilized, like when coming to Mel's, Melissa Ford, Mel's female point of view on it, you know what I mean, or the grittier perspective, or more, more blatant perspective, I guess I'm looking for, So she gives a lot of safe answers, but they want, I could tell Joe wants her to be more personable, or find a way to make it more personable to her. Whether she has to say, I got a friend, or, you know what I mean? And make her experiences or things she brings to the table regarding on a woman's perspective, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and the addition of Mark Lamont Hill, bro is okay. I understand why he's there. He brings a political dynamic. He also is like a something to debate and combat some of Ish's logic on some things. So that's a good yin and a yang, or a good versus right there. Flip is still the X Factor wild card, but you could tell like he is trying to open and widen his perspective on things, and get more in tune with a more mature more mature audience, and elevate his business acumen, as well as rebrand to a more mature persona. Mel is still Mel, doesn't always tell the truth. Embellishes a little bit, but it's a comedic way. It's a dynamic to the show that's hilarious, you know what I mean? And it's playful, and not disrespectful, and you know what I mean? She embraces it. She understands what she's doing, and how she's delivering it. So, and Joe being the ring master of the circus, with the perfect punchlines and comedic timing from that rapper brain of his, always looking to drop some sort of bar to the conversation. I like the dynamic that Ice brings, you know what I mean? A real stand in his square type of guy. The music portion, he really deep dives into a lot of these artists that, people his age don't really listen to. So it really shows his love for hip hop, even at this stage of the game, and, his opinion. So that's the dynamic with him, and Joe can bounce whatever when they're trying to deep dive musically. And then we have the other X Factor, which is Parks, who gives a different racial component. He also has a good comedic timing about his comments and statements when he interjects. He's just like the all around cool white dude. Like you know what I mean? Like everyone should have a Parks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like just ill guy, right? So, and then like when they had their guests, like Imani and the other people, that be off camera that come on sometimes that they shout out and things like that. So I just wanted to salute Joe Buttons, JBP, and the whole cast and everybody that contributes to such a great show, such a groundbreaking show. It has got me through a lot of corporate work days, sitting at my desk listening and handling my business at that time. So it is also inspiring. I was also inspired just through the conversationalness of it with this podcast to do what I'm doing now as far as with my own YouTube channel and just trying to connect with my own audience, build my bullpen up, represent South Jersey, Philly area, give that perspective while also still trying to keep it very unique to myself. So, salute to him, man, because, he Big Jersey, he inspired me, and him, Candace Owens, it's a lot of content creators that I look to that have inspired me, that I watch, and there's also personalities that I mess with, like the Carcino for Life, the Choke No Jokes, the MREC TVs, the Doggy Diamonds, the DJ Academics. Like, all these people, had an effect on my YouTube journey, or wanting to take this journey and open up my personality and talk to people about an array of topics, and just try to do my own thing. So yeah, salute to him. I pray you get 10 more successful years, top of the game, and y'all continue to elevate and find new groundbreaking ways to make money off this podcasting, YouTube, TV channels, arena. And yeah, so I want to know your thoughts, or your comments. Do you want to send some love, send some flowers to the JBP in the pod god, Joe Button himself? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do what you gotta do. You feel me? It's Hoom Boom. Shout out to the bullpen, all the returning viewers, all the people who haven't subscribed yet. It's all love. If you keep watching, just, if you enjoy, just please keep watching. You know what I mean? But it's your boy, Hoom Boom, and I'm out. Enjoy your day. Peace.